teach you at, on, in terms of time and place. Time and place. Then after I will talk about, then after that I will talk about on, above or over. Then I may talk about other prepositions at, on, in terms of time and place. Look at this triangle. This part is very small, okay, smallest part, and this is the biggest part or largest part. Smallest, largest, and this is what? This is bigger. This part is at. This is on. This is in. At is the smallest. Look at here. The smallest. In is largest or biggest. Or it is a smaller. Smaller. It is the most specific, very specific. It is general. It is general. It is specific, but it is very specific. In a simple way, if I have to say, this preposition is the smallest preposition. This is little bit larger, and this is the largest. For example, look at here, at. At is used with clock time. Clock time. Clock time, remember. You know clock? Clock. For example, look at here. This is clock time. Clock time. It is 6 o'clock, yes? Clock time, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock. At 6 o'clock. This is a clock time. Similarly, larger than this clock time, you know, larger than this clock time, on is used. On used with day. Day and dates. For example, on Sunday. Day and dates. On 1st January. On 1st January 2002. Let's say. This is date and this is day. Day and date. We use on. On is used before day and date. This is larger, longer than the clock time. But what about longer than the day? Weeks. Longer than the weeks? Months. Longer than the months? Seasons. Longer than the seasons? Year. Longer than the year? Decades. Longer than the decades? Centuries. We use in before weeks. For example, in the first week. In the first week. In the first week. In January. In January. In February. In March. In April. Season. In the spring or in the summer. In the spring. Or in winter. Let's say in winter. in autumn. Year, before year we use in 2019, COVID, in 2000, in 2019 year. Decades, in the 1920s, 30s, in century, in the 21st century. The war took place in the early 20th century, the First World War. It means what? Look at here. This is the basic concept of at, on, in. What is the basic concept? Basic concept is at is used with the smallest thing, the smallest time, on with day and dates, in with weeks, months, seasons, years, decades, centuries. These are longer. Not only this, it means I have to say in another words, not only this concept is not only applied with the time. The same concept will be applied with the place also. Place also. For example, at Taj Mahal. At Taj Mahal. Let's say Taj Mahal. T-A-J or T-A-J, no problem. Taj Mahal. Or at 24th house. At 24th house. You know house number? House number. At is the smallest, you know. At. Or at Tinkuni, let's say. Or at Tinkuni. At Baneswar, a small, you know, a small area. It covers a small area, a smallest area. What about on? On is used before the name of the street. For example, on ABC Street or on Makhan Street. On ABC Street or on Makhan Street, the name of street. Then in is used with the largest. For example, in Kathmandu, larger than Kathmandu, Nepal, in Nepal, in Asia, in Europe, in the universe. The concept is at is the smallest, on is bigger, and in is the largest. This is the basic concept. To tell you in another way, look at this circle. At smallest, on bigger, and in biggest. For example, I was born at 1 o'clock. I was born at 1 o'clock on Sunday in 2012. Look here. How it moves from a smaller to the bigger. Similarly, you can say I was born at, you can say I was born at Tinkuni on ABC Street in Nepal or in Kathmandu. Look at the concept of at, on, in. What is the concept? The concept is at is the smallest, on is the larger, and in is the largest. These are the basic things that you have to remember. But you remember one few things. We don't use the with night, at night. Sometimes we use the, but the meaning will be different. A specific night. When we want to say a specific night, then there will be at. at night. But with the parts of the day we use in the morning, in the evening. But remember, once when you say in morning, it is wrong. When you say at morning, it is wrong. Okay? Alright? Yes. These are the basic thing you have to remember. At Christmas, but on Christmas Day. With the name of festivals, we say at. But a specific day is there, then we use on. These are some basic things you know already. But if you say, sir, what type of questions we are going to be asked? Let's say, I am going to say one question. At, on, in, off. It is 10. Choose. Which option you are going to choose? This is very important question. You may be asked this question. It is 10 dot the clock. At, on, in, off. Most of the times you will choose at, which is the wrong answer. The correct answer is off. What does it mean? Sir, why? How? Look at here. Off means o'clock. Off means o'clock. We say no. We say it is 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock means what? 4 of the clock. 4 of the clock. This is important for your exam point of view. But these are some basic concepts.